Hey y'all! Today I'm going to be talking to you about mesothelioma. For those of you who don't know what mesothelioma is, it's a very aggressive form of lung cancer. This hits close to home for me because in 2017 I lost my grandpa to mesothelioma. After my grandpa's diagnosis, I learned so much about this cancer, and I plan to share a little bit of it with you today. I will be walking you through the symptoms and causes, the diagnosis and what to expect, as well as bringing you up to speed on the strides being made to help prevent and slow down this aggressive form of cancer. As aggressive as mesothelioma may be, it can be hard to detect, but the big question is, how does one even get mesothelioma? The answer to that is asbestos exposure, most often through inhalation. Once asbestos has made its way into the body, mesothelioma mostly shows its presence in membranes surrounding the lungs. This can also include a lining that goes around the lungs and the abdominal area. This can inhibit breathing a little bit. Asbestos is a naturally occurring group of minerals typically used in different building and auto materials. For example, insulation and brakes have been known to be made with asbestos, although it's not typically used in manufacturing today. My grandpa used to work as the lead electrician at a company called DuPont. A lot of you might have heard of it. It's on the Jeff Gordon race car. At this company, he ingested asbestos through multiple different building materials, as well as several other people who worked for the company as well. Symptoms can include shortness of breath, chest pain, and chronic cough. Unfortunately, a lot of its symptoms can be missed because they share similarities with common viruses such as the flu or pneumonia. So if you feel like you might have been in contact with asbestos, your best bet would be consult a doctor as soon as possible. As with anything, the earlier the diagnosis is the best. That's not easy to say with mesothelioma. A lot of the time it's not found in the later stages due to its symptoms having very close similarities to the before mentioned viruses. With my grandpa, we were kind of lucky in a really weird way. My family has a long history of heart problems and heart conditions, and it's even so bad my great grandpa passed away at 42 years old from heart failure. So when my grandpa started having chest pains, he immediately went to the doctor to see what was going on. They ran multiple different tests, they did everything they could, and they found out through all this that he had mesothelioma. He was diagnosed in 2010 and passed away in 2017. He made it a grand total of 7 years after diagnosis, which is almost completely unheard of. They typically only give about 18 to 36 months to live after a diagnosis. However, once you have been diagnosed, you and your doctor can start planning out what you want to do as far as treatments go. Mesothelioma is not curable yet, but they have come far in helping prevent mesothelioma. This shows with my grandpa because he made it a whole 4 years after a typical diagnosis maximum. As I mentioned before, strides have come a long way in helping prevent mesothelioma. The scientists and doctors behind all of this have been trying years to help find new methods to slow and even halt this deadly disease. Treatments have improved over the years. My grandpa did chemo and he did radiation as well, both common when fighting mesothelioma. They're constantly testing out new procedures and treatments, such as experimental immunotherapy like my grandpa tried. We think that the experimental immunotherapy helped extend his lifespan because no one else had tried it yet at the time, and it was strides for him. He was able to drink a beer on the front porch 3 years after diagnosis, which is almost, it's mind-blowing. They're constantly testing out new procedures and treatments. Although the treatments don't cure, they gave my grandpa 7 more years with us, which just shows what's being done in today's society. Asbestos is now currently legalized in a lot of places around the world. Not completely, but we're getting there. Taking it out of manufacturing our products for our people and potentially protects our future generations. But it doesn't stop with just research and manufacturing. We can help too. For the past 5 years, I've raised a little over $2,000 to help go towards mesothelioma research. This contribution may seem small in the scheme of things, but every little bit helps and go a little bit further in protecting families from the devastation of mesothelioma. Excuse me. Mesothelioma may be horrific, but with modern science and research, doctors around the world studying this disease with the help of not only the people with those diseases, but everyone trying to understand the symptoms and causes, we can all make a difference. If my grandpa can make it a whole 4 years past the typical maximum lifespan for someone being diagnosed with mesothelioma, then we are all capable of contributing, even if only for data for experiments. Thank you so much.